Liberate to educate, vacate the premises. Instead of heads on collision. There's no competition for the recognition. Transform myself just like a mathematician. Stop the violence to all you adolescents. Stop the violence, past courts in session. For emancipation, for the proclamation, for the reparation. Give me that liberation. Freedom, freedom. When you start to teaching, freedom, freedom. When you start to speaking, freedom, freedom. Why you take our homes, freedom, freedom. Why you tapping these phones, freedom, freedom. Why you doing this wrong? Freedom, freedom. Yo, how can it be when our people steady dying in American streets? Hardly no food to eat with the HIV. No love, no peace, no justice as I can see. Gold stock market crashing, popos harassing, young island lasting, courts in the session. Freedom, freedom. Yo, how can it be when our people steady dying with no unity? Homicides with drive-bys, high-rated crime. Little shorter than got shot, boom, bap, and died.
Justice is the law that distinguishes between right and wrong. It's clear that black people in America have not received justice.
Peace, justice, against peace, against love, seen in the streets. A push for freedom, cause we still ain't free. I'm screaming a black battle to give us a peace. I'm fighting for mountain, I'm fighting for my blood. I'ma tell we are equal, maybe stop the destruction. They give us a job so we can stay productive. We living a life of luxury, it's rich and poor. The freedom of thought, just supposed to do. What's the freedom of touch? They give us some liberty, they give us equality. They tell we got it, we still ain't free. They give us liberty, they give us equality. Until we got it, we still ain't free.
I got the heart of Malcolm in me, resolved like John Henry. Universe, my classroom, the principles they envy. Law, truth, peace, freedom, and justice defend these indeed. I used to be a juggernaut slumbering. I woke up to earthquakes, rainstorms, and thundering. Prophets threw you the keys like lifesaver degrees. Cut like a lightsaber, you free, they freeze.
Muslims coming, we out to attack. Those who pose as foes will get behind. What's been taken shall be given back. Lies being put on my people, they can't lie. We being the truth, how people can trust. It's about our legacy, kept from us. Now is the time that the truth must be told. About who we are and the powers we hold. Like deep beneath yourself for that special glow. The secret by heaven and hell, then you know.
I stand firm on the fourth principle. I find all enslavers reprehensible. Allah is incomprehensible, but he and man are one. Son, that being the deal. It's about harmonizing one's will with the deific. Prolific prose arose from my plume and feather. Tough like leather, facing adversity like a pugilist. The noblest image, digital vintage. There's no more spirituality without economics popping. Like we run from no one. Like the Sultan, we acquiring power by directing the force.
Yo, they used to rip our tongues out for reading. And then they give us Grammy plaques to call us screaming. But even Martin had a dream, man. Yo, they used to sell, but then they just sell cars, clothes, chains, planes, rocks, yachts, lies. Stop, I'm young Moorish and strapped and I'm ready for the revolution. When it's time, yo, they got our minds, bro. They instigate the war between Moors and Mexicanos. I'm from the hood, man. I can't kill Poncho.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me all this work and then
here we go.
I'm useless and I'm stupid. I'm just another.
Share the link, everybody. Share the link.
In the hieroglyph, so I don't want your microchips. I'd rather overdose on pills that they kill Michael with.
My people go freedom. Let's go.
Wisdom is the consciousness of the all that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. The truth don't change, and Allah is a part of me. With wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. The truth don't change. And law is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness of being conscious that you're conscious of being conscious that you're conscious. Cause you can go back to sleep or return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. Wisdom is the consciousness of being conscious that you are unconscious, dripping in the cares of the world that almost drowned you. And now the rock of your salvation is only a step away from everything you used to do and everything you used to say and all the horrible things you kept around you. If I can get you to think, I can get you to free yourself. You are Moorish American, be yourself. Our prophet, noble to Ali, that's what he taught. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. God, wisdom is the consciousness of the heart that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. And law is a part of me. Where wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. And law is a part of me. Where wisdom is the consciousness.
It is the knowledge of the lower self, the sensing of powers of man himself. Okay, now let's break down the wisdom. It is the consciousness that man is all. That a lot and man are one, but naught is naught. And power is but illusion. Heaven and earth and hell are not around, above, below, but within. Which in the light of love becomes love, and Allah is all mercy, all power, all wisdom, all knowledge, all truth. We got the proof. Making surety that man will become deity. The ladder of salvation reaches from the heart of man to the heart of the Creator. Precepts to make you greater. Believe, faith, fruition. That's the current mission. See it all through and become one with the truth.
Wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. And law is a part of me. Where wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. And law is a part of me. Where wisdom is the consciousness.
All right, here we go again. Yeah. Time to check some people. Moorish Movement. The Harker Bay. Islam. I guess I gotta do what I gotta do. That's right. Islam. We for love, truth, peace, and freedom. Won't nobody do it, leave it to me, I will. You lanes, you gotta chill, you so not real. I've been watching you face snakes, acting different, cause you don't live in the hood and don't get public assistance. Man, my people be tripping when they think they better. All type of degrees, still dumber than ever. So corrupt and foul, but they know how to hide. They polish their life and look good on the outside. Before the bell back and I expose them all. They be kicking worse than them shorties up in the mall. Getting high as a kite, beating they wife and got a mistress and got another look down on you. The brothers is cursed, even worse than I know God. We know who you are, but all the heck you do is throw shots. We see what you got. Okay, you made it to school. Okay, you overcame. Lord, homie, that's cool. That's cool. So, you done came up with your low education. Now you want to look down on me and my peeps. We'll keep on looking down. That's right. And watch us. We on the come up. That's right, fam. Let's go. I'm sick and tired of these lame old frauds. Keep picking up the mic device, acting so hard. I've been through that fire, the type of things you never heard of. Little lanes like you will commit self-murder. You acting like life's so sweet over a beat. In the street without the heat, you clowns is weak. In the spot, in the box, you straight mince meat. The tattoo tears make you look like a geek. Little sideshow freak, acting like they cheat, acting like they me, or who I used to be, but they all be intelligent, no effing intelligence. Taking care of your seeds, irrelevant and pressing up shorty, cause she got a little shape. While her nail and her weave, her whole style is fake. How can she be a dime? Her brain flat line. Her birth canal is probably foul as swine. Oh, yeah. Spit a few bars, somebody put you on. Now you act like you hard. You ain't hard, no. You straight bluffing. Exactly. I'm getting at you. Let's go. I'm trying to tell you all, just wake up. How many lives will we destroy to get caked up? How much time will it take us to even the score? How many don't feed babies on the NICU floor? How many queens gotta turn into crackhead whores? We understand our savior is just to be born. We got our eyes to the sky. The solution is in us. God put that with us. We born winners. We choose to be sinners. I play along, forgive us and forgive me for the way that I choose to deliver. But my message is the same as the Moorish Movement, but I say it in a way that certain people will respond. So go ahead, talk, ridicule and judge me, and go and sit around and watch things get ugly when it all fall apart. The people you look down on, they be the only one that you can count on for sure. Yeah. Look like your mother, father, sister, or friend. We need to realize we all we got in the end. Ain't nobody coming to your rescue but you. Instead of running your mouth, won't you see what you can do? Your life is only worth what you sacrifice. And black people, stop being so trifling. Hijack, stop being so trifling. Come on, people, stop being so trifling. It's time for us to come up. We gotta stop playing, man. More steps to the front. Stop acting like you booze.
That's right. That's right. That's
yeah. It's all. Try to be your friend, man. Try to be your friend, bro.
Oh, yeah, get it right. Meet me halfway. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me. And you ain't never ever me again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me. And you ain't never ever me again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I used to be a thug. Hey, but now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom till I return to a love. Hey, we call me. I'm all about justice. I support this. I'm the message of time. AGA make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion for more than Moorish passion. I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail. Another calling up Neanderthal. And he all fail. I mean, for real, this is what it comes to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we can be scalations, but we can get better. We are the children of our father and the rest of our mother. Has nursed us all and first of all. We people want to try to murder us all. You need to chill, my brother, and tell me I'm the same. Cause on the world, my man, I'm really for them things. I can't see this, so I can get back in the low. every time we the same way they used to call me dope, but no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah, what love not for, standing on that floor, in the holding square, the compass in the act, that might be too deep, you'll have to get off track. See, my prophet was that, you know what that is, right? I got that, it's a prophet who lives by the universe, science, development, and now we call it Islam. It's what it's saying, yeah, push up a master, I train you once. But I might have to thank you, but I still love you. And those that's talking that ain't Islam, everything the prophet taught is in the Quran, all the
We're going to get it together. Yeah, we're going to get it together. I know they don't want us to get it together. We're going to get it together. Wait with me. Rock with me. Rock with me. We're going to get it together. I know they don't want us to get it together. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're going to get it together. Y'all with me now? Can y'all see me now? Can you see me now? Can you see me now? Can you see me now? What's up, family? What's up, family? Y'all with me? Man, let me tell you something, man. I'm glad y'all back in the building with me. I'm going to get this straight. I don't know what this thing be doing. Let me tell you, when that truth come on full, falsehood flee. They don't want this truth to get out. You know what I mean? See me, hear me, Don right here, peace and love. Deshaun Nelson, peace and love. Good to see you in the building. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's a time delay with the what's the name? Okay, listen. I'm gonna try to work this thing out. I'm gonna try to work it out. Because when the truth on board, I'm telling you, y'all don't know who we up against. See, y'all don't know who we up against. Y'all think we just up against, man, let me tell you something. That's what this show is all about. This show is all about the people. This show is all about the people. I want to hear what you got to say. You know, so first of all, let me set my screen up a little bit. Pokes his dog with a stick and hides behind his back. Hey, what's up, family? I'm feeling good tonight, man. Listen, I got a sore throat, right? I don't have a sore throat. It's not a sore throat. I got a yelling throat. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about that in a minute. You know what I mean? Good to see you. Good to see you, sis. Hey, man. Hey, Black Mind. What's up, Black Mind? Hey, we're going to have a good show tonight. We're going to have a good show tonight due to the fact there's a lot of nonsense going on. Stacy Lachey, what's up? Peace and love. But look, let's bring it down a little bit. Let's bring it down a little bit. T-Dog in the building. It's not just, look. So we're going to get the show rolling, right? But look, let's just talk about this for a minute. Look, this is the problem. This is the problem. First of all, I am the Moorish Revolution. And I want y'all to come and start this revolution with me. The Moorish Revolution is not all about those who subscribe to Moorish Science Temple of America. It's about those that subscribe to the teachings of our illustrious and ancient and present prophet, Noble Drew Ali. We follow all true and divine prophets in the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's what this revolution is all about. I am the revolution. So if y'all with me, I want y'all to join the revolution. Don't let nobody take our prophets out of the paradigm of our upliftment. Don't let nobody call our prophet a good man. Don't let nobody call our prophets of old time just good people. Don't let nobody do that. We have to find way. Hold up, bring it down. Bring it down. I gotta stop yelling. I'm gonna give y'all a little tidbit. A lot of people that got up on me for yelling and cutting people off. So I'm gonna try to stop yelling. Y'all feel me? Man, I ain't gonna stop yelling nothing. Look, it's time for the Moors to stand up and be accounted for. So first of all, I rise giving praise to the great God of the universe, Allah. I give honor to his noble, illustrious prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet then, prophet still, prophet always will. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to the forerunner of the prophet, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who set the trend, who paved the way, who made it possible for those who received his message to receive the message of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Absolutely. Listen, we are Moors through and through, whether you like it or not. We are from the same blood. And I'm going to turn my phone down because we're going to talk about something. But here's the first issue. The first issue, there's this new movement going on. There's this new movement going on. More sympathizers and loved ones. There's this new movement going on. And let me tell you something. Whether you are part of the Moorish Temple of America or not, the new movement is trying to destroy the divinity of our ancestors. The new movement is trying to destroy the divinity of our ancestors. The new movement is trying to put, man, come on, man. Come on, man. The new movement is trying to put their energies, their information and talents in Europeans' development of science instead of our divine science. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Our divine science consists of the power that's within man. From the ladder of man reaches to the heart of Allah. From the heart of man reaching to the heart of Allah, to the heart of the Creator, to the heart of the center of the universe where all the force lies. That we may have the power and transform that power into force. Where we can say be, and it is. Where people think that your mind is so weak that you can't say be and it is. And when you say that you believe or have confidence in that, they think you believe in a spook. You see what I'm saying? Okay, Brett Hicks, this is the new movement. The new movement is this, brother. Let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. The new movement is this. If you've been around on Facebook, the new movement is from right here. I'm about to screenshot it for you. This is what my good brother, I love the good brother, but he can't get away with this. He can't get away with this. All right, I want y'all screenshot, see this. This is the new movement. This is the new movement right here. New Moor movement, when being black is not a problem. That is the New Moorish movement. Now, I didn't put the name up there. You know, I didn't put the name up there because I'm going to say the name. You know what I mean? I'm gonna Beyonce. Say my name. I'm going to say your name. Say your name. I'm going to say your name. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to say your name. You know, the New Moor movement is being pushed by the brother Ngozi and the brother Ishmael Bey, which I don't have a problem with them pushing the new movement, but don't hijack the prophets movement. Don't hijack that. You know what I mean? Push a new movement, but don't hijack the prophets movement. And so we see that we did a show last week, family. We did a show last week, and the show was predicated upon, do the prophet teachings need to be upgraded or revised? That was the show. Do the prophecies need to be upgraded and revised? And we seem like these brothers took the opportunity to try to perpetuate their movement, their new Moorish movement. See, I don't have a problem with a new movement, but don't ride it off the back of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, because what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali say is set in stone, it's sound, it works, it is what it is. You feel me? It is what it is. So what is this new movement is all about? The new Moorish movement is all about taking a European approach to understanding who we are. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? These brothers, if you see the title of the show or if you've seen the advertisement, let me see if I can find this advertisement real quick that I put up. Give me a minute. I'm gonna find an advertisement. And I think if those who were on Facebook may have seen it, but I'm going to find it again for those who are just friends of the show and seeing the show come up in their alerts. And so I'm going to pull it up real quick and I'm going to share it with you because it's real significant to what I'm saying. It's very significant to what I'm saying. And so let me pull it up real quick if I can find it. Where you at? Don't try to hide from me. There we go. So I'm pulling it up now and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So the new movement is basically trying to cancel out our holy and divine leaders and use DNA. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the prophet to the Moorish American Muslim. We have prophets all around the world that came to that group of people. So they saying that we don't need this no more. We don't need this no more. What we need is this. This will supersede this. DNA will supersede NDA. And that's what's going on. So you ask yourself, who is this? Who are these people? Who are these people that's saying that NDA is out of whack and now we got to use DNA? Who says this? But let's talk about it for a second. Can we use common sense, family? Let's use common sense. And then I'm going to take you to what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali stands for. But first, let's use common sense. I want to ask y'all a group of questions. Family, when we begin to use DNA, to try to identify where we're from, there's nothing wrong with that. But one question I have to ask, are you comfortable with who's collecting the DNA to even determine where you're from? Who's collecting the DNA, family? Who's collecting the samples, family? Find me one person that looks like you that collects the sample, family. Now, I'm not even going to get into the fact that some of this stuff agrees with us and some of it disagrees with us. And that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be confusion. Who collects the daggone samples, family? Who made the chart, the E1B1 chart? I'm yelling again. My bad. Who collects the samples? Number one. Now, who engineered and made the machine to test the samples, family? Huh? Who made the machines to test the samples? Oh, we're not going to get into the match yet. Terrain 7, we're not going to get into the match yet. I'm asking you, who collects the samples? Who collects the sample? And who created the machine to test the samples, to tell you where you from? You're dependent on somebody else to tell you where you from. When the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a prophet indeed, and he tells you that you are descended from northwest, southwest, and shores of Africa. Why can't you go and verify that? Because you know what you suffer from? You know what you suffer from? You suffer from the delusion of slavery. You suffer from the principles that delude the slavery as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You suffer from the principles that delude the slavery. That's why you won't work to confirm somebody that look like you. You won't work to confirm somebody that look like you. You want to confirm a European that gets the samples, tell you where you come from. And then he can't make a machine and say this is fact. And you think it's reliable. Man, you got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me, man. And then y'all little people want to ride with it. Y'all want to ride with it. Come on, man. So you have no more in the DNA field of study? Brother, you know, and I know. Brett Hicks, you know, and I know. Let's be honest. Show me someone that we can trust with the samples of historical. And now I'm not talking about, let's be clear. Let's be clear. DNA as it relates to your mother and to your father is one thing. But DNA to trace you back 10,000 years to a specific tribes with all the migration and all the mixing and all the intermingling, that's another thing. That's another thing. Brett Hicks, you say that's a cop out, but you say cope out. No, I'm not coping out. I'm not coping out. Let's use common sense. Prophet Noble Ali said, I can teach you to think you can save yourself. We're talking about millions of years of migration. We're talking about millions of years of people. Man, they can't, man, come on, man. We're talking about millions of years of migration patterns. We're talking about that someone has to go and get samples from every corner of the earth to match it and to make a complete match. In thousands of years, millions of years. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that it's not a science. Don't twist it. I'm going to say it one more time. I'm not saying that it's not a science. I'm saying that it's not reliable to identify who you are due to the fact that you are not at the helm of the development. You are not at the beginning of the development. So that's why you see the video with Don Cheadle that thought he was of the Native American tribes. And they say, no, you're not. And then you hear Ishmael Bey or you hear Dr. Kittles say they don't have any samples from the Native Americans. So of course they can't match a Don Cheadle up to a Native American tribe. They don't have no samples. They don't have no samples. And I agree, Brett Hicks, we got to get our people together. Brett Hicks, that's why I'm here, Brett Hicks. I'm trying to put our people together so we can get ourselves into the field of DNA, so we don't have to take somebody's word for it. And we don't have to take a hijacker like Ngozi that has read the European script and he reads it better than the European. We don't have to take a smooth talker like Ishmael Bey, which is my brother, and I love him to death. But we don't need a smooth talker like Ishmael Bey that can articulate something to make people believe like a smooth preacher. We don't need that. We need somebody that will defend the prophet in the temple. Where you at, Moors? Stand up. Stand up. I got my brother Moorish Movement. Are you there, my brother?
Islam.
Islam, brother. I'm turned up tonight. I'm turned up tonight because we got a lot of these Moors that sway where the wind blows. I'm telling you, Moors, it ain't no more time to sway where the wind blows. We blow where the prophet go. And if the prophet said we are descended from northwest, southwestern shores of Africa, I'm begging you, I'm asking you, I'm making a plea to you that you confirm that. Don't try to go against that. This is a prophet from God, for God's sake. You got to be killing me. I'm going to catch a hard time. Brett Hicks, I'm good. All right, I'm going to slow down. All right, Brett Hicks, I ain't going to catch a heart attack. Woo! My bad, brother, my bad. They got me turned up, Brett. Hey, Brett, they got me fired up, man. I'm looking at this stuff, brother. Listen to this. Listen to this. Brother Moorish, come in, brother. Stand up. Let the people know who you are, my brother, and let's talk about it, brother. Come on, brother. The floor is yours for a second. Let the people know who you are, brother.
Islam, Moorish, a.k.a. Jamal. You can hear me good?
Brother, I can hear you very well. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
I'm using the cell phone right now.
Yeah, I can hear you. You good, brother? Come on, just talk then. You good, brother? You know, it's all love.
All right, first I want to rise, give praise to Allah, give honors to his holy prophet, and honors to everybody listening. Islam. So I just want to say,
let me walk you in real quick, Moore.
Okay.
Basically, brother, I think they hear your echo, but that's all right. I'm gonna hit your mic for a second. Basically, Moorish, what I'm doing is this. I am not at this point, you know, and I know that I am not trying to refute anything that these brothers saying at this point. What I'm trying to do is give some perspective to common sense. Because our prophet teaches us, as I can teach you to think, you can save yourself. So I want people to begin to use the faculties which Almighty God, Allah, has given them. And just think a little bit. That's all I'm asking. And as they begin to think a little bit, they will see how irrational it is to try to use somebody else's perspective to explain something that doesn't even apply. For one thing, DNA doesn't even apply to the Moorish Science Temple of America paradigm or teachings or philosophical approach to life. That's number one. But because you keep talking about that, and I know my people can get lost in that, we're going to address it. And by default, I'm not trying to say that it's not a science. I'm saying that it's not reliable for anything as it relates to the descent nature of our people. And I'm not coaching anybody through this. Moorish Hijack, he gonna come in and give his spill, and we just gonna chop it up, and then we're gonna talk to the family. Come on, Moorish Hijack.
Islam, well, I'm still researching this DNA stuff. So I should have, you know, some information on it in a little bit. I'm still researching it. So what I would say about it is, like, I want to know the method they use to determine, you know, what tribes and what different places we come from. Like, what parts of Africa are they going to? What tribes are they going to, swabbing these people? And it's like, if a person lived in Nigeria and then moved to let's just say Ethiopia, and then you swab them there, and he migrated from one place to another, like, what methods are they using to prove where the person is actually from if he's going back and forth? Right. And then what different methods are they using? We have to study these things before we take these things as ultimate truths. Now, I don't know everything, and I'm not saying I got all the answers. And I don't think anyone else should act like they know everything and act like they got all the answers and they are over, you know, everything that different Moors in the temple or out the temple are teaching, because nobody is really above nobody. We all trying to seek and gain understanding and find out, you know, what's going on and who exactly we are. Well, we know we come from, you know, Africa. I'm not saying that.
I'm agreeing, absolutely, brother.
Yeah, we know we are African descent. You know what I'm saying? We're not.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, brother. And that's where I'm at with it. Why is it so much division in time to confirm who we are? It's very simple. We are from African descent. We are of African descent. And these are brother with bays on their name.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And so this is the crazy thing. You got brothers walking around and they say, well, bay is an ancient term. Well, let me tell you, there's not a person on these shores that would have known about a bay if it wasn't for the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. If you don't want to follow Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's okay. Drop the bay. Okay, Prophet Noble Drew Ali introduced you to that. These brothers claim that they're from certain regions that are not more that doesn't make them Moorish. So why are you carrying these attitudes and this bay that would insinuate that you are of the tribe of Ali? Prophet Noble Drew Ali, that is. You follow what I'm saying, Moorish? And so let's go here. So let me break it down to Sister DeShonda Nelson. So sis, this what happened, right? So we do a show, and all of y'all is not familiar with it. All y'all not familiar with it. This is what happened. Let me fall back for a minute, because my brother Brett said I'm gonna catch a heart attack. You know, Brett, my mother say the same thing. So look, this is what happened. 2 weeks ago, I'm looking on Facebook, and I don't have a lot of time to go on Facebook, but I go on there and I look at things that people that I find to be interesting. One of the brothers that I find to be interesting is my brother Ishmael Bey. Brothers who post in Ali's men. and Ngozi. But what I begin to see the last few weeks is a shift. I begin to see a shift in basically sneak dissing. Basically sneak dissing. That's just what it is. Let's just call a spade a spade. Just sneak dissing. Those Moors in the temple calling themselves Moors, and Moors ain't even that. Moors are from such and such and such and such. Basically sneak dissing. And my thing is that, okay, let's have a conversation. And it's okay to have a conversation if you got everybody agreeing with you, but the conversation that I want to have, I disagree with you. First of all, I noticed, as I said, I noticed you got a bait on your name. And the brother been on the show. I love the brother. Don't get it twisted. I can disagree with you and love you at the same time. We can go to war together twice as hard. But I don't mean I got to agree with you. Period, point blank. I agree that we all oppressed. You agree that we oppressed. That we all have been oppressed. We can fight under that. The flag of oppression, raise our flag, and we'll fight to solve the oppression. That's what I can do. But now your philosophical approach or your scholastic approach, I don't have to agree with that. We can fight under the ideal that we're being oppressed, and we must get this boot off our neck. And I'm willing to do that. But anyway, I'm reading these posts, and it's a bunch of sneak dissing going on. Like, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you an example real quick. Now listen to this. Now this is how the sneak dissing happened. This is one of the brothers' posts. You know what I mean? And no more seem to be addressing it. They trying to adjust it after the show. It say, if you don't descend from Berber-speaking Moors family, from Berber-speaking my Moor family, you are not a result of Canaanites, back migrations of the Levant, are not from Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco. You are from the Niger south of the Sahara. But now let's stop for a second. What's going on here, brother? What's going on here, sister? Check this out. I'm going to read it one more time. If you don't descend from Berber-speaking Moor family, you are not a result of Canaanite back migrations of the Levant, are not from Tunisia, Algeria, Algeria or Morocco. You are from the Niger south of the Sahara. Now, then you might say, okay, brother Tahaka, what you mean by that? What I mean by that? The prophet Noble Drew Ali tells us that we are descendants from the ancient Canaanite, from the ancient land of Canaan. So the first thing what's going on is now he's want to discount and be smarter than the prophet. As Brother Tunic Ill saying in his song, oh, you smarter than the prophet, huh? You know what I mean? Now, secondly, what do he say? We are not from Algeria, Tunisia, or Morocco. So I'm reading the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America, and I read, the industrious acts of Muslims of Northwest and Southwest Africa. These are Moabite, Hamatites, Canaanites who was driven out the land of Canaan by Joshua and received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in that portion of Egypt. In later years, performed themselves kingdoms. These kingdoms are called today, listen family, Morocco, Algeria, Tunis, Tripoli, etc. You see what's going on here, right? You see what's going on here, right? Take me to your boss, Ngozi.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Take me to your boss, Ngozi, because you're a traitor to the cause of uplifting our people. You're a traitor to the cause. When somebody came looking like you, telling you something, and then you just flipped it and saying that ain't so, what gives you the idea that you are smarter than the prophet? Where do you get your research from? Talk to me, Moorish. Talk to me, Moorish.
Well, it's like, is it any feedback in the mic from me?
Yeah, they can hear you, brother. You good?
All right. Well, it's like people are trying to disconnect us from North Africa and trying to limit us to sub-Saharan Africa. Like, it's Africa. These are dark-skinned people who occupy the whole continent, north and south. That's why he said northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. That's the land of the Moors. So he said we're not Algerians from Algeria. I just posted a picture today that showed the dark Moor. today, if you go up there today, you still find very dark-skinned people in North Africa. So I understand why people are trying to separate us from it. And before the Roman invasion into North Africa, most of those are dark-skinned people. It's the Roman invasion of the pale-skinned nations that basically lightened the people up. You see, because prior to that, Africa, it was dark-skinned people. North Africa and South Africa. See, most of the lighter people in Africa occupy North Africa because the climate is a lot better. When you go south, it gets a lot hotter. You need a little more melanin for that. You see what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So of course, a lot of the lighter skinned people are gonna go farther up north, where it's more pleasant for them. You see, so I don't know why people are trying to separate us from. I don't know why.
So, Brother Moorish, my apologies. You know I cut people off, brother. Don't take offense.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Don't take offense to it, because I'm reading this brother on my Facebook page. He said, I'm from Algeria. My mother is. LOL. Now here we go. Now this is my problem. This is my problem. Here we go. Let's told a group of people that believe in a Moorish science temple of America that actually can develop faith in this if they do the proper research, because belief is what man thinks is true, faith is what man knows is true, and then you must be what you know. There is research, cutting edge research, that shows who you are. According to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you really can rediscover who you are. Prophet Noble Drew Ali sits you on that journey to discover who you are and where we come from. Yet we got a brother that says emphatically no. Emphatically no. You are not what your prophet tell you. Listen to me. I'm Ngozi. I've been studying DNA. I've been studying hologroups. And I keep saying E1B1. I don't know C1D1 yet. I just know E1B1. That's all I know. E1B. I'm just joking. The point that I'm making is, why must we allow someone to run rampant with this ideal that DNA supersedes the teachings of a prophet, when half of us don't even understand how DNA works? So when somebody say these slick words and can't nobody defend it, use your common sense. Use your common sense. Common sense will tell you. Common sense will tell you that there's no way humanly possible that you can trust something. Something where you're not at the helm, where you're not at the head, where you're not the one that's collecting and it's too risky. It's too risky for people that is desperate for identity. It's too risky. Why do we doubt our prophets? To believe blindly? I'm telling you, try to confirm this. And the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. Try to confirm this. Why are you working so hard to be divisive? Why? Because those are the principles that delude to slavery. Check this out. I'm going to bring you back in more shot, but let me share another thing. The brothers say this. This is how foolish things have happened, things have become. Now check this out. Why is these brothers so desperate to make silly points? Listen to this point. Original Moors of Africa did not wear fezzes. They rocked turbans. The fez came much later in North Africa. So one show me a Berber or a Gargamente, whatever, with a fez. Y'all see what I got? We adopt what we wish. Now listen to this. Why would a brother point that out? Why would a brother point that out? A brother will point that out if he's trying to cause confusion or division, because he knows the fez is of African origin. So what difference do it make what headdress that we adopt? Don't you know on the back of this, the prophet says Come on, brother, you need to go to the temple. On the back of the Moorish questionnaire, it says this: the Moorish Science Temple of America derives its power and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad to propagate the faith and extend the learning of the truth of the great prophet Ali in America, to anoint, appoint, and consecrate missionaries, and to establish the faith of Muhammad in America. The said Moorish Science Temple of America is adopted as its corporate name, the following Moorish Science Temple of America, this affidavit, etc., as presiding officer. But as we go up, you'll see under this, you are able to develop customs. Dashonda, you said what they were wearing? Dashonda, they was wearing tabooshes. They were wearing turbans. They were wearing what you would call a taboosh today. A taboosh. It didn't look exactly like this, but this is more of a modern version of the fez or taboosh, of taboosh. It was maybe a little bit shorter. It still had a tassel on it. These guys are funny. Come on, Moorish, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, and I want to say this. You got everybody can look this up, the Sundry Free Moors. I think this was 1790. Now, these Moors were straight from Morocco. They were subjects of the Emperor of Morocco, and they was captured during battle and brought to, I think it was South Carolina. And then they couldn't tell these people from Morocco apart from what they called the Negro. So these Moroccans or Moors had to go to the court to petition to not be, if they commit a crime, not to be charged as under the Negro Act, but under the Constitution and under the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. So this is another example that shows you that Moors was captured in Morocco. So it's silly for people to say that, some of us are not, of the descent of Morocco or North Africa, period, when you got clearly documentation of Moors being captured during fighting and wars and being captured and brought from North Africa, where they lived and where they were born and where they were from, to America as slaves, and then enslaved, and then sometimes let go, and then they just had babies, children, wives, and they lived their life here in America. We are a lot of these people's descendants. So how are we just coming only from sub-Saharan Africa and not North Africa too? The whole Africa belongs to us. We was all over that thing.
Exactly.
All over the whole continent.
And that's why I got a problem with somebody trying to specifically place us in one portion of our continent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As well as in America. You can't place us one place at one designated time. We have traveled and traversed the whole continent. What is wrong with you? You know what I mean? And so right here is similar. Right here, this is not an ancient headdress, Sister Deshonda, but this is similar to what they wore back in the day. That's similar. You know what I mean? So what this brother is talking about is straight foolishness. It's straight division. It's straight division. And why? Oh yeah, Brett Hicks. That's right, Brett Hicks. The faith of Muhammad was and is the knowledge of God. Simple as that. So when somebody try to cause this division, y'all got to be aware. Y'all got to be aware. Be aware that these brothers are causing division for someone or somebody. Possibly it may be for their own ego, or it may be bigger than that. Ego, or it may be bigger than that. This is the new Moorish movement that these brothers are talking about. Now let's move on real quick. Now listen, this brother say this, and I'm gonna read it to you in a minute. This brother say this, and I'm only gonna address a few points because I know Moorish World TV audience is smart. Y'all ain't going for the okie doke. Y'all ain't going for the okie doke. We ain't gonna let you go for the okie doke. And all those Moors don't want to stand on the front line and fight. I fight it by myself. I fight it by myself. That's how it is. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. Yo, let me stop this screen share for a minute. I gotta stop. Hold on. Hey family. Hey family. I'm gonna try to stop yelling, family. Listen. I got myself in a whole bunch of mess for yelling. You know what I mean? I will cut people. Bro, let me say, brothers and sisters, I declare I am very passionate about Moorish science. Let me explain something real quick. We're gonna take a pause for the cause. We're gonna take a pause for the cause. We're gonna take a pause for the cause for a second. I am very passionate about Moorish science. Why am I passionate about Moorish science? And I want y'all to hear me and hear me good. You with me, Moorish Hijack? You gonna walk out with me, more? We gonna stay here for about 30, 40 more minutes, brother. You gonna walk out with me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm with you.
All right, good, my brother. I appreciate you. This is why I'm passionate about Moorish science. When I was younger, right, I was never, gotta scratch my back, hold up. When I was younger, I was never forced to go to church. I grew up in a household where my mother believed in God, where my mother believed that Jesus was God. But never ever was I forced to go to church. Never ever did my mother jam it down my throat. Yes, my mother had the European Jesus on the wall. Yes, my grandmother had the European Jesus on the wall. Check it out. My grandmother never shoved the philosophical approach to life of Christianity down my throat. I wasn't tainted by that. My mother never shoved it down my throat. I wasn't tainted by that. When I came into the knowledge of the Moorish Science Temple of America, I knew it was right from day one. Let me tell you why. Something in my heart at a young age had me asking the question, if we are from Africa, as the teachers in school has told us about the transatlantic slave trade, which I probably didn't articulate it like that, but that we are from Africa and were put into slavery, why in this book that when I went to church periodically, shout out to War Ready, what's up, my brother, peace and love. Why, when I periodically went to church to go get them Easter eggs, yeah, I wanted some Easter eggs. We went Easter egg hunting and all that. Why this church never ever taught me anything about Africa. At a young age, I couldn't grasp that concept, that I will go to church and every once in a while, I will be like, what about the slave trade that I learned in Black History Month school or in school in Black History Month? Why I'm not hearing about Africa? And I mean specifically. As I got older, I began to read the Bible and I say to myself, people begin to identify hints that we were in the Bible. Like they would use the thing like, well, Jesus had hair of wool and feet of brass. But that wasn't enough for me. That wasn't enough for me. And then you will go on and you will read Solomon. I'm black, but commonly. Please don't look upon me because I'm black. And I'm saying to myself, that ain't nothing to be proud of. In my heart of hearts, I can only articulate it as a young teenager. In my heart of hearts, where is our story? Why hasn't God come to those people from the African continent? Why? I would ask myself. At the age of 17 or 18, I came into the knowledge of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And he showed who we are and also explained why identify who we are in the Bible without the proper knowledge. When I begin to understand that we are in the Bible, that it is our book, but you just have to have the proper knowledge to decipher it, I begin to grow. In reading the Moorish Science, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, I begin to connect the dots as to who we are. I begin to identify that those, let me talk to you, family, let me talk to you. I begin to identify that those who smelt or smelted copper in Benin, they were Moors. Now, did they call themselves Moors? No. Some did, some didn't, but generally speaking, no. So when we say they are Moors, what are we saying? We're saying that they are from the same group of people. They are from the same group of people. They have the same descent nature. When I look at the kingdoms of Mali, did them call themselves Moors? No. No. But we're saying they are descended from the same descent nature, from the same group of people. Did they in Ghana call themselves Moors? No. You get what I'm saying. They are from the same line and genealogy of people. That's just like today, you might have a cousin named Brown, and then you might have a cousin named Roberts, and then you might have a cousin named Johnson. Descent nature is the same. That's how I understood the great kingdoms of northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Ali put me on to understanding that. So what I did was I went further to confirm that. Now, I did not confirm that for the sake of trying to be conclusive with genetics and DNA and hologroups. Why? Sense to know that some people was taken from the interior of Africa, some people were even taken further as East Africa, some was just taken from northwest and southwestern shores of Africa, some migrated from east before the slave trade, some came back out of Spain before the slave trade, Europeans mixed with some. I understand all this. And understand is that the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is not necessarily about a blood tie as it relates to identifying you to a specific tribe. That's not what it's about. It's about a blood tie of descent in nature. That you are the same people that your forefathers were. In other words, if the migration came out of Egypt and Kemet and came to North Africa and they stayed thousands of years, and then they migrated down the coast of North Africa and stayed for thousands of years. They are the same lesson. I mean, they are the same people. Why do we seek to divide? Why must we seek to divide so hard? Because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches us that we suffer from the from the principles that delude to slavery. See, it's these principles that make you want to believe in someone else before you believe in a holy and divine prophet. See, it's these principles that make you want to believe in a smooth talker instead of studying what the prophet said and try to confirm it. See, those are the principles that make me look at you and say, man, you don't know what you're talking about. But Bill Bixby, he know better than you. Or those who created the hollow group, the terminology, the DNA discovery. He's smarter than you. You're just from North Carolina. You're just from North Carolina. You was all right. You was okay. But you don't know more than this DNA because the DNA is for real. DNA don't lie. See, you was all right, Drew Ali. Come on, Moorish, before I go into the map. Talk to me, brother.
All right, I just want to say this. Noble Drew Ali teaches us, like you mentioned earlier, the industrious acts of the Muslims of Northwest and Southwest Africa. He said, these are the Moabites, Hamathites, Canaanites who were driven out of the land of Canaan by Joshua and received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in that portion of Egypt. In later years, they formed themselves kingdoms. These kingdoms are known to this day: Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, etc. Tripoli, we know that's Libya. That's ancient Carthage. So replace the finest stuff. If you want to find the, I'm about to give you the key right now. If you want to find these stuff, replace Moabite, Hamathite, and Canaanite with Phoenicians. Now go research the Phoenicians and you'll find out that the Phoenicians actually called themselves Canaanites. The Phoenicians around the 10th century came into Africa and they built up those kingdoms known as Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, Carthage, ancient Carthage. That's one of the most important cities in North America that was built by Canaanites. So, and then another thing what they want to try to do is tell you that these Phoenicians were a pale-skinned people, and that's a lie. Not by identity, but I'm gonna just use this for the context that I'm speaking in, context for phenotype. The Phoenicians were black people by phenotype, not by identity, national identity, but by phenotype, which you would call a black person who came into Africa, and they the ones that founded all those North African kingdoms who knew Noble Drew Ali identify as the Moabites, Hamites, and Canaanites.
I'm with you, brother. So look, I'm about to pull this up right quick, real quick. So listen, check this out. So these brothers, this is what the brothers say. This is what the brothers say. The brothers say this. The brothers say this. For one thing, they call all of this right here. It's your mute for me, brother Moorish.
Okay.
They say the Europeans, and we're not using Europeans to identify what we're saying. I'm only saying what they call this. They called this the slave coast. And they called it the slave coast for a reason. You feel me? They call it the slave coast, and they called it the slave coast for a reason. I'm going to stop right there for a second and say they called it the slave coast because that's where slaves came from. I'm not saying conclusively all of them came from there, but that's why they called it the slave coast. Now, secondly, this is what this brother said. This is what I wrote right here, but let me show you. This is what this brother say. This brother say, the name is derived Atlantic slave coast 16. So if he didn't say that, he didn't say that. Hold up. This is what the brother say. I read this earlier, but I'm gonna read the second part. You would have been called Blackamoor later in history. You are Niger, Kodafam descendants. That being Fula, Mende, Wula, Yoruba, Bimilike, Hassa. See, naming all of this stuff. On the Islamic side, you are Wolof, Mandingo, and Fula descent. And you are not Asiatics from the east. Oh, you're not Asiatic from east. You are Niger or west of Sudanic people are all over the gold Nubian. So Nubian is more relaxed term. The term Moor family, and don't use Moor family, and don't use something, whatever the case. Point of the matter is, what he's trying to say is that I'm gonna try to break it down for. I don't want to say too much to try to, because I'm not trying to break down his lessons for you. That's for him to do. But when he say we are from around this area, man, whatever. You're going by DNA or whatever. I'm telling you that our prophet Noble Drew Ali said that we are descendants. He said that when we was ran out the Holy Lands from Joshua, we migrated over this part. We built kingdoms. The Pharaoh of Egypt gave us permission to settle in this land over here. We built kingdoms. And these are the kings that we built. And then we migrated, populated, and did all of this. We're not saying that this is recent history. We're saying this is ancient history and that it has yet to catch up to what the prophet is teaching. Well, that's what I'm saying. And recently, Sister Dana Marnichi, you can go on my page and look at the research where she brings out the research where we come from. as it relates to over here in the land of Canaan. She picks out the research. But now, hold up now. Why would this brother be so bent on trying to dispute something like this? When in actuality, right here, all of this, these Europeans talk about this southwestern shores of Africa. All of this right here. And okay, the European give you this information right here, right? But guess where it comes from? And I wish I would have saved it. Guess where it comes from? It actually comes from Bill of Ladens. Let me tell you what that is. Bill of Ladens is when you go, if you got truck drivers up in this chat right now, and they was driving a truck, when they go and pick up something, they got to show what they have. They got to show where they picked it up from and where they going at with it. They got to show this. The slave trade has the same thing, family. The slave trade was a business. The slave trade was a business. They have records where the ports were at. That's why you see what I just showed you. It identified where the ports were at. And that's not one, that's just one example. But if you do research more than an hour and stop grabbing something just to agree with you, you'll see that they had reports all up and down northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. So all of this old DNA stuff is a hoax to try to play us against us once again. We're starving for identity. And let me say it once again, family. DNA does not apply to the Moorish paradigm. Why am I saying that? Because the Moorish paradigm is predicated upon national identity, nationality, from where you're from and who you are. You can't deny where we were plucked from, and you can't deny where we are. Ball game, end of story. Create your own movement. Stop piggybacking off the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Drop your Bey and name yourself Ngozi E1B1, Ishmael Bey. Name yourself Ishmael the God E1C1. Be D1, and then your other fathers be F1 and all of that. Huh? I'm gonna bring one more thing else into the chat, and then I'm gonna let my brother Moorish. Anything else, my brother Moorish?
Yeah, I want to say this. So I talked about when the Canaanites and Moabites and Hamites came into Africa around, I will say around the 10th century BC. To add to that, I want to say that we know that before they came in, because they obviously was Africans, people was already there because they had to get permission to live there, right? Or inhabit there. So we know that, so Noble Drew Ali teaches us that the inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. He said old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa. So Cush, we're going to take Cush, so Cush, we're going to say that's the Cushites, right? So he said they came from the land of Canaan. So we're going to, so if you get a book called Prehistoric Nations by John D. Baldwin, 1875, he places the seat of the Kushite empire in Arabia. Noble Drew Ali teaches us in our questionnaire that the first physical man was formed in Mecca. Mecca is Arabia, with the land of Canaan. So what you see when you Google the land of Canaan, you're not going to get, it's not going to include Arabia. But I'm telling you, when you go through the literary history, when you read books like I just mentioned, Prehistoric Nations, you're going to find out that Arabia was included in the land of Canaan. So these Cushites, these Arabian Cushites came from the land of Canaan and went into Africa first. I don't know the exact timeline, But somewhere in history, they went into Africa and they were the first pharaohs of Egypt. And you can find that in the book, The Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire. So get that book too. She says that the Kushites were the first pharaohs of Egypt, the first dynastic period where they were all Kushites, right? So later on, when the Moabites and Hamathites and all these people came around somewhere in the 10th century BC, they were just going to join up with their family. And then when they went in, they built all those kingdoms that we mentioned earlier, Tunis, Algiers, Morocco. And then all the other brothers and sisters came and lived with them because they was all seeking new homes because they had built beautiful cities in North Africa.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when I'm doing more shots, I'm looking at this. The brother must be looking at the show, and he on my Facebook page. And I'm just going to, I'm going to tell you what he's doing. Look, I'm going to keep the people informed in real time. I love that he's doing this. He helping me teach my people. This is what he posted, family. Look, he posts the position of 111 amino acid change its position and it changed how melanin content respond in the epidermis. The cats in Central Asia had lack of causing degenerate mutations of the past. Then he posts that, what did he say? That minor glacier period made a lot of people go south 24,000 years ago. Study Tassili cave art. DNA don't lie, people do. Y'all see that? DNA don't lie, Noble Drew Ali do. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. He got DNA to confirm 24,000 years ago. And he ain't left out Chicago. Go figure that one out. Go figure that one out. Who went and got that cave art? Who went and got that DNA? Man, these people that lost their mind. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna do this, and then I wanna allow a few brothers to come in. Let's do this real quick. I looked up a dictionary, right? War ready. Let me get you war ready. This what happened, war ready. 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago, I'm on Facebook, right? And I see people sneak dissing the Moors. And these are brothers with bays on their name. Talking about Prophet Noble Drew Ali teachers ain't correct. I mean, they're not saying it directly. For example, the brothers say Moors are not from Algeria, Tunis, or Tripoli. And he didn't say it in those names, so I'm just trying to catch you up real quick. But right in our book, The Only Part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the pamphlet, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that's where we from. So we got a base saying this. Then we have another one saying that DNA doesn't put us where Prophet Noble Drew Ali says we are descended from. When we know Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he's giving us a descent nature perspective, a national identity perspective. But this guy want to take, but this guy wanted to try to take a European approach to trying to teach more science or trying to discount more science. That's my problem. I'm not saying that DNA is not a science. I'm saying that it's not reliable, nor is it sufficient for the Moorish Science Temple of America paradigm. It doesn't even go together. But the only way you would know that if you was a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It doesn't even go together. It doesn't. That would be just like telling a person of a so-called, they call themselves Jews, the European Jews. That would be just like telling them that you're not from Palestine in the Middle East. You're from the cave. They don't care what you say because they understand that being Jewish is deeper than a DNA trace. They understand what national identity is. They understand something that we have yet to come to understand. See, they came together under a national identity. And that's why you got the state of Israel today. See, they came together under a national principle. See, they came together on a national identification. And that's why it is what it is. But when you have somebody blatantly say, it's a new moral movement and black is acceptable, diametrically, what we are opposed to, when black is not a problem. New Moor Movement, when black is not a problem. When we know systematically, when we cling to these names that allude to slavery, we set ourselves up. Send me your handler. I need your handler to talk to. I don't want to talk to you no more. Yes, they stole the identity, Colonel, but I was just making a point, my brother. I was just making a point that they united around something and they pushed forward. And now, guess what? They got some nuclear weapons for your behind. You know what I'm saying? They got, I'm not saying it's legit. I'm just making a point. But what I'm saying is, send me your handler. I don't want to talk to you no more. And any more that support this, any more that agree with this, man, send me your handler. I don't want to talk to you no more. Send me your handler. I ain't arguing with you no more. Let somebody else argue with you, because you will oppose the teachings of a divine prophet. You would try to discredit a divine prophet. You would try to discredit somebody that looked like you instead of trying to discredit somebody that have enslaved the world. That's what you would do. But these are those principles that allude to slavery. Last but not least, let's go here real quick. What I did was, brother, Moorish Hot. Man, this gonna kill him. This gonna bang. Moorish Hot.
I'm here.
I am the Moorish Revolutionary.
That's right. That's right.
Now look, this is gonna get him. I looked up a dictionary, right? And this is an old dictionary by Charles Taylor. Yes, a European. Most likely a European. But I just thought I'd just look up this dictionary to see what's going on. And I'm going to read something to you, family. And I'm not using European as a reference. I'm using it as a source to say there is a difference in opinions as it relates to the Canaanites. I know I'm yelling, family. I'm sorry. I'm yelling loud, Moorish. Tell me, Moorish.
You good. Go do your thing. Be you. You got to be yourself. You got to be yourself.
So I looked up this dictionary, Moorish, and I'm going to screen share, and I'm going to leave it here for a minute because I want people to see this. In this dictionary, this is what it says. The Canaanites. Y'all with me, family? Can you see that, Moorish?
I can see it. Go ahead.
It say the Canaanites, the descendants of Canaan. Their first habitation was in the land of Canaan, where they multiplied extremely and trade and war and acquired great riches and settled colonies over almost all of the islands of the coast of the Mediterranean. You know what the Mediterranean is? When the measure of their ideologies and abominations was completed, God delivered their country into the hands of the Israelites, who conquered it under Joshua. He destroyed great numbers. Now, this is just a source, family. I'm not using this to qualify anything. This is something to put you on your journey so you don't fall victim for the nonsense. He destroyed great numbers of them, and he obliged the rest to fly. Some into where? Some into Africa. Hold up. Stop right there. The Prophet Obadiah said the industrious acts of the Muslims of Northwest and Southwest Africa. These are the Moabites, Ammonites, and Canaanites who was driven out the land of Canaan by Joshua. Some into Africa. This is not Obadiah talking. Others into Greece. Procopius says they first retreated into Egypt. We was given permission and received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in a portion of Egypt. They fled where? To Egypt, but gradually advanced into Africa, where they built many cities, and they spread themselves over great vast regions, which reached to the straits, preserving their old language with little alteration. He adds that in the ancient city of Tangiers, founded by them, were two great pillars of white stone near a large fountain, inscribed in Phoenician characters. We are the people preserved by flight from the robber of Jesus, in brackets, Joshua. Prophet Obadiah, the industrious acts of the Moors of Northwest, Southwest Africa. They are the Moabites, Ammonites, and Canaanites who were driven out the land of Canaan by Joshua.
There you go.
Who pursued us. In antithesis, if I'm wrong, I apologize. Time. The African continued to say they were descendants up from the Canaanites. And when they ask their origin, they answer Canaanite. This is an account. This is an account. You was not there. This was an account. And I'm telling you, I'm not using this to qualify. I'm not using this to qualify anything. What I'm saying is there's an alternative thought. There's an alternative thought where Africans describe where they come from. Where Africans say they from the land of Canaan. There's an alternative thought. There is an alternative thought to some daggone DNA. We got to stop letting these Europeans control the narrative out the mouth of our people. We got to stop that. And if you ain't got the testicular fortitude to stand up against it because you don't understand it, get out the way. I'll take care of it. Get out the way. Because I'm going to give it to you in common sense. This ain't, let me tell you one more time. I am not Professor Tahaka Bay. I'm not going to book whip you to death. I'm not going to book whip you to death. Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches us, if I can teach you to think, you can save yourself. My job is to excite you and inspire you to think, use the five senses, use the faculties of your mind, and think. And think. Use the faculties of your mind and think. Let me tell you, that book is called The Dictionary of the Holy Bible by Charles Taylor. But hold up. It might be a reprint in somebody else's name, but I'm going to put it in the chat for you. I'm going to put it in the chat for you, my brother. You know what I mean? But listen to what I'm saying. The thing that I'm saying is, I'm not saying that even that is 1,000% accurate. But what I'm saying is that it agrees with the holy and divine teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That can start you off on your journey of rediscovering who you are. We don't collect no samples. We don't make the machines. We don't know where those samples come from. Why we rely so heavy on them? We can't rely heavy on ourselves. Brother Moorish, come on in, my brother. Anything you got to say about that?
Islam, I want to say this. We have to use common sense. We have to use common sense, and we have to study the methods that they are using for this DNA stuff to determine who people are. Like, for example, we say the Moabites came into Africa and inhabit Africa. Then you have people that say when you do the DNA test on African Americans, we have no Moabite, no DNA from Moabites. But then where are they getting the DNA samples to show who the Moabites are, right? So then you find out the method that they're using, because modern Jordan is ancient Moab. That's what ancient Moab is. So they going to the modern people of Jordan, taking DNA samples, and then when you match them up with us or people from Africa, you say there's really no relation. Why? Because the people that was in that original people of that land was driven out, and they already went into Africa. You looking at the people that descend from there when you in Africa, but you going to these modern people in Jordan, taking their DNA, trying to match it, and thinking that they're the ancient Moabites, and they're not.
Oh, talk to me, brother. Talk to me, brother. Yes, sir.
Islam.
Yes, sir. How you gonna take some modern people DNA and then try to match it to us and rely on it? You know, right. as if our prophet was not a prophet. Like, this is my problem. This is my problem, my brother. We have gotten to the point where our people through slavery, right? They believed in a higher power, whether they called on Jesus, whether they still had the old religions of the old world of Africa, in which we would call the New World of America, whether they believed in Allah, whether they believed in Buddha, whatever they came believing in, they believed in something powerful, more powerful than themselves. They prayed for a deliverer. They prayed for assistance. They prayed that God, the creator, Allah, whomever, could bring us up out of this mess. And in this day and time, 1913 through 1929, the prophet was given the information and developing the highest degree of information to bring us up out of this mess. And now in 2017, and with everything we got at our disposal, we will use it to try to discredit someone who was a revolutionary as it relates to uplifting a lost people. We will use all of this technology to belittle, discredit, and basically call him a fool. Man, we done lost our mind. We done lost our mind. And I'm not telling anybody to believe blindly. I'm telling you, do your own research. I can't give it to you all on this 2-hour show. 1.5 hour show. I cannot do it. It's not enough time, but I can point you in the direction. I can give you some points to ponder, some common sense that this brother is talking about some 24,000 years ago. That's how them Euros talk. That's how them Euros talk. We don't talk like that. We talk in such a way that we know it resonates with our spirit. That we know that it resonates with our spirit. We go through the research and we confirm. Why say Allah, Ali, Muhammad, Islam? That's the topic. That's the topic to talk about. Okay, my brother, that's a good topic, no problem. So what I'm saying is this, is that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So what is the solution to this madness? This is the solution. Don't fall for the okie doke money for Moors. The solution to this madness is confirm the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. As the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says in this Moorish questionnaire, he tells the instructors of Sunday school, confirm yourself to the questionnaire. Confirm the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We have everything at our disposal. Confirm the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. They're easy to confirm. But we choose to try to confirm and try to cross-reference things to try to put our prophet in the stone age of ignorance. When the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was nothing short of genius by the will of Allah. By the will of Allah, he was nothing short of genius. Let's stop for a second. 1929. 1929. Yeah, I don't like this guy. I don't like how he's getting down. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm putting you in timeout. You going to time out, Austin? Austin, you going to time out? you go to time out. Oh, I got a time out. Well, you go to time out. You act like you got some sense. All right? Okay. You come back with some sense. We having a serious conversation. I know I'm hyped up. I don't mean to be hyped up and seem like I'm acting a buffoon, because I'm really not. I'm really passionate about this. So work with me. Austin Munyon. Munyon. I'm to Harker Bay. You there? I'm to Harker Bay, Austin. No. This is but what I was saying. Anyway, what I was saying is, I want everybody, as we begin to close out, I wanted to let my brother Jess in, and I wanted another brother to come in, but I'm going to do another show with that. I appreciate, praise the Lord for my brother Moorish Movement coming in. Appreciate you, my brother. But I want people to do this. Brett Hicks said, breathe. I want everybody for a minute, whether you believe in more science or not, whether you believe in the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali or not, I want you to take yourself back in 1926. I want you to take some time and go investigate 1926. I want you to get an almanac. I want you to get every information you can get that would take you from Peace Augustus Kane, that can take you from 2017, and transpose or transport your mind back to 1929, 26, 28, 27. These years was the height of the Moorish teachings, instructions, and accomplishments. I want you to take yourself back there and imagine a little man standing on a corner in Chicago telling people, wearing affairs at that. Moors are scared, or Moors are hesitant to wear their fez in public today. But here he comes. As it say in the Chicago Tribune, he came up the street with his blazing red fez. Imagine this guy dressed the way that he's dressed, wearing a fez. And he's telling people something that is so opposite of what they know, that you're not black. Now today, it's easy. We have certain liberties today where we can, man, you got people running around being whatever they want to, say whatever they want to, do whatever they want to. But he's back in 1926 through 29, even before then, but I'm talking about the height, saying that you're not black. You know what type of courage that take? Do you know what type of man that take? Do you know what type of man that takes? In 1926 to 29, he didn't have to do that. He said you're not black, Negro, colored, or Ethiopians. And you look at that term Ethiopian, you wonder why he said that. Well, that was one of the terms. They said all black, quote unquote, people were for Ethiopians. That was one of the terms. But what I'm saying is, in the 1920s, this guy from North Carolina, by the way of New Jersey, is in Chicago. Man, it takes a real man to do what he did. And the best thing that you can do in 2017 with this information that we have available is try to discredit him. Man, you got to get off the island. You got to get off the island. You're a bandit from the island. You're a bandit from the island. The best thing that you can do is discredit. Take your mind back to the 1920s and look what this man is talking about. This man is talking about something that haven't been said thousands of years before him, because it wasn't necessary to give you an identification of where you were from. And he's standing in front of the public. He's gaining so much momentum. Oh, so what you gonna say? People were dumb back then. Oh, Moors were dumb back then. Black people were dumb back then. Nah, man. They understood what a prophet was. They understood some of those prophecies that their grandmother told them from the days of slavery. They understood those prayers. They understood that Marcus Garvey. They understood this. So they embraced what they could feel. Where is this DNA coming from? Who plucks it out of people's arms and skins and bones? How is it collected? How is it determined? And I'm not arguing DNA. Let's be clear. And I'm going to let Moorish come in and we're going to wrap it up in 15 minutes. Let's be clear. I'm not arguing DNA. I'm saying that it's unreliable and it doesn't even associate with the Moorish paradigm. But in order for me to check Ngozi and Brother Ish, because they got people, you know what I mean, rocking to this tune, dancing to this tune of this elaborate, sophisticated language that half people don't even know what they're talking about, I got to address it. I got to address it. Man, this old slick talk, go check S1B15. If you check S1B15, listen, let me tell you something. If you go check S1B15, you will see that they come from the Sahara up by the Nile Valley. But you know, E1B1, they go around, there were marshlands back there 24,000 years ago. And after 24,000 years ago, then the marshland was dried up. And now the marshland returned to wheat fields. Now the wheat fields was 25,000 years ago. You can find that on the cave. See, they grow wheat on the cave. And now when you take E1B, what the heck are you talking about? You know what I mean? What y'all talking about? Well, this is what it is. This is what it is, man. You know, we got to stop playing with this, man. We got to stop playing with this, and we got to keep it moving, and we got to waken our people up. You know what I mean? We got to waken our people up, and it is what it is. Once we wake our people up so we can unite. At the end of the day, family, this is all about uniting our people. And anybody that comes with division, if anybody comes with division, your antenna better go up. You know what I mean? Your antenna better go up. Your antenna better go up. Period, point blank. Your antenna better go up. I'm telling y'all, and I'm gonna tell y'all another thing. This is called Moorish World TV. This is called Moorish World TV. This is not called Fox News. This is not Meet the Press. This is not the Evening News. This is Moorish World TV. I respectfully disagree with Ngozi. I respectfully disagree with Ishmael. They invited to come to the show again, and I'm going to do my best to be a gracious host and not to cut them off. I'm going to be a gracious host to let them speak. I'm learning too, family. Again, I came to do this YouTube thing because everybody was attacking the Moors, and no Moors that I say on the social media tip took a stand that made me uncomfortable. Not saying they didn't take a stand, but they was on the media, but didn't take a stand that I was comfortable with. So the old saying is, you want something done, do it yourself. I don't know where this train is going to go. I just got faith in Allah. I honor the prophet. Allah is my protector and my guide by night and by day through his holy prophet Drew Ali. So I just turn it on and I just go with it. This stuff. I just go with it. And whoever riding with me, ride with me. Whoever don't, all right, I ain't got no problem with that. But just get out my way. Get out my way. Period, point blank. Brother Moorish, come on in, brother.
Islam. So I'll say this. We know that the DNA science is a DNA. It's the DNA science. The DNA is a science. We know it's an actual science, so we're not attacking that. What we will challenge is the methods used. We know if we have a direct match, they can tell you are the father with a direct match. And if it's not a direct match, you are not the father.
That's right.
Plain and simple. So we're not attacking that. We know that that's official. What we are attacking is the methods. We want to know the methods they're using. How are they gathering the samples? Are they going, because we know DNA don't have a name. So you can't say this is the DNA of the Fula people or the DNA of the Mandinka. We have to talk to the people and find out who they are, what their history is before we swab them and take a sample. What are they? What do the people say about themselves? What is their history? What is their story? Are we just putting stories on them and saying they come from here, based on European psychology? You see, and we don't attack our people for calling themselves black. That's another thing. So this new Moor thing is, you know, we don't have a we don't have a problem with black. Well, we don't have a problem with the word black per se. We have a problem with being identified as black.
Talk to him, boys.
We know what our phenotype is. So if you want to use black in the context of a phenotype, well, you know, feel free to do that. But you got to know who you are, who you descend from, what's your nationality. Every man, woman, and child have a right to a nationality. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to read something from the Moorish literature, and it says, "What shall we call him? The matter of the various names given to these 22, back then it was 22 million people. We're talking about the 20s. Now it's about 40 million people. So I'm going to change that. The matter of the various names given to these 40 million people with all colors of every race of the globe was an act of European psychology." So how you take a people that have every color within this race. You have the lightest of the lightest, you have the darkest of the darkest. So how you take all these people and lump them into one color bowl of black? It's silly. It don't even make sense. My daughter, she 8 years old, and she said it doesn't make sense. So with that, I say peace.
Peace, my brother. Peace. Now I want to say this. I want to hold on. I want to say, I want all y'all, if y'all support the Moorish World GoFundMe tour, which what we're going to do is we're going to bring some scholars, we're going to bring some researchers, we're going to bring some PowerPoints, but we're also going to bring some workshops so we can begin to build our communities in real time. Moorish Hijack, he's in the real estate business. He's official real, he's not no pseudo, he has a real estate license, and he's not one that's going to tell you that, you know me, you can get a house for $1 and you don't owe nobody nothing, and then you can sell it for $1 million. He's going to tell you how it go. If it's a house for $1, you'll be able to get that. If it's not, it's not. But we'll be able to show how we can work together to make things happen. So this is what the Moorish World Tour is all about. We're going to leave you with something, but we're coming back to feed whatever we leave you with. Meaning this, if I show you how to get a building for below market value, or Moorish Hijack show you how to get a building of below market value. You know what I'm saying? Once you get that, I do, or formerly I used to do a lot, was home improvement. I'm going to show you how you get the materials for a little bit of nothing. I'm going to show you how you fix it up in record time. I'm going to come there on boots on the ground, gloves on the hands, ready to get busy. We need a Moorish world in every city as it relates to a Chinatown. We need a Moorish village. We need a Moorish village in New Jersey somewhere. All them Moors in Jersey. We need a Moorish village in Baltimore. We need a Moorish village in Chicago. All them Moors in Chicago. We need a Moorish town, as the prophet talk about. You know what I mean? And so wherever I go, once I do my presentation, the next day or the later after that, I'm going to do a quick free seminar. A quick free seminar on how to obtain property, how to obtain something to build in real time. It's time for us to build brick on the ground, mortar on the brick. So that's why I'm trying to travel and do this. But I can't do it on my own dime. My dime ain't that long. You know what I mean? My dime ain't that long. You know what I mean? But the family dime can help me out. I mean, hook me up with $5 or $10 or something. So by the summertime, I can put this money to use and go and travel and make something happen. Some people are going to bring me out because they are impressed and they think that I can make a difference and that we together can make a difference and all of us together can make a difference. So they might bring me out to blow the trumpet, but it's going to take all of us. We got all of these Moors that's screaming, hooray for the prophet, hooray for the prophet. And you can't even send a brother $5 or $10 so we can go and make this happen. If you don't, I'm not going to beg you. I'm going to keep asking you. But if you don't, we're going to make it happen anyway. Moorish Hijack, we're going to make it happen anyway. What you think, Moorish Hijack?
Yeah, we have to, because people got to get this information. If you can support, definitely support, because I can show you strategies of how to acquire property without a conventional mortgage, without getting a mortgage. If you got bad credit, good credit, whatever credit you got, can show you how to get your hands on the property, or even, you know, if you want a better home, I can show you how to do that, even if you have bad credit. So you definitely want to support if you can.
And Brother Borshak, when I was telling you about the methods and what I acquire property, isn't it unique, brother?
Yeah, it's unique because I got different strategies, and your strategies is a little different.
Exactly. But guess what? That's what's going to make it successful, because we have different array of strategies that people can try. You know what I mean? No.
That's right.
Yeah. No. I don't need no 25,000, brother. What? Brother, they GoFundMe, brother. You know how GoFundMe do. You just put a number in, and so I just put a number in. You know what I mean? I just put a number in. I don't need no $25,000 to travel no country. Come on, brother. I just put a number in. I want y'all to know, disclaimer, I don't need no $25,000 to travel the country and teach more science. I don't need that. What I need is startup money to get a plane, to go out, to set up, to come back home, run my business, come out and do the show. Period, point blank. Come out, do the show, not only do the show, but also do the presentation. Hopefully I can stay 2 days. This stuff is going to cost money. I need my brother Nasir on security. I need my brother Nasir on security. I got to pay him to come out. He got a family. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He got a family. Moorish Movement got a family. He got to come out and go back home. If you ever heard Moorish Movement in the chat, he talking to them children back there. He got to come in and go back home. He can't stay out there with me. My children are grown. I got a little one, but you know what I mean? He good. Mom Duke's got him. He good. I'll take him with me. But Moorish Movement got to go home. So what I'm saying is that we need to put ourselves in order as a Moorish nation. We need to put ourselves in order as a Moorish nation, and I'm asking that you support. I'm asking that you support. If you believe in the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, thanks to Shonda, thanks all y'all that supported. I appreciate you. I love you. And we're gonna get this work done. Yeah, we're gonna get this work done. Period, point blank. We are going to get this work done, even if we got to do it on our own dime. I'm pretty sure my brother Nasir, the one that say Vanguard's cars, I'm pretty sure if he got to throw a few nickels in so we can get this gospel out, he'll put it up there. But at the same time, we should be able to support each other. We should be able to support each other to get this holy and divine message out. Because guess what? We talk about all these pseudo representatives. We talk about all them. They traveling. They traveling and spreading their messages of pseudoism. They traveling. And what are we doing? I'm sitting here on YouTube trying to build the momentum. Last time you seen a Moorish American traveling around the country teaching the divine teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Last time you seen that. You ain't seen that since you seen Brother Sharif do a lecture. Come on. Last time you seen that. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to teach the lessons that have yet to be taught to the public. Period, point blank. Ain't nobody heard this stuff. Ain't nobody heard this stuff I'm talking about. What you heard tonight, ain't nobody coming out there. Ain't nobody talking about them driver's license. Ain't nobody trying to combat this old pseudo stuff that these brothers will go on tour and infect our people with. Ain't nobody addressing that. You know what I mean? That's right. Anderson Bay, all posts. There's nobody addressing this stuff that Moorish World TV is addressing it, but we're going to take it to your hood. We're going to take it to your college. We're going to take it to the police department. We're going to do seminars at police department. That's right, I said it. We're going to let the police know that we are Moorish Americans, we are on the rise. And you must deal with us in a dignified manner. because we must deal with our community as a dignified manner, because our community is awakening. So we have brothers that will be able to train the police on how to deal with people. We have to do this, man. We got to stop playing with this. In closing, I'm going to let my brother Moorish close out, then I'm going to close out, and then I'm gone, family. And we coming back on here real soon. We're going to talk about some, I think we're going to get to some health. I think we need to get into some health real quick. I'd like to get my brother from Texas on here. My brother from Texas, they doing big work. Shout out to my brother Molden Bay, Savvy. I forget the brother name. I'm all over the place, but you know what I'm talking about. Out there in Houston. Shout out to my brothers out there in Houston, the Israelites out in Houston, man. My brother D Red, man. Big up to my brother. I'm just saying that we got to get this thing done, man. We got to get this thing done. Period, point blank. Let me say that if you can support, please support. And if you can't, I understand. But if it comes a time that you can support, it will be up for the remaining, and that's why I say 25, but it'll be up for a while. If you can support. If you can't, you can. Brother Moorish, anything in closing for the people?
I'll say this. Common sense is your biggest asset. You have to use your common sense. Like Noble Jolly said, if I could just get you to think, then you can save yourself. And all you got to do is just think. You got all these people out here saying a million different things, but you got to have you right there listening to all of it. Just think for yourself. Every African American, Moorish American, Black, whatever you want to call it, should start to build a library in your house. Business books, science books, history books, all types of books. Man, I've done filled up 2 bookshelves, books overflowing on the floor now. My kids playing with them, reading them. You see, everybody should have a library in their house. You need to think for yourself. With that, I say peace.
Peace and love. And so, family, I want to confirm. I want to confirm. This is not to say DNA is not a science. So when y'all hear say, man, that brother is pseudo, that brother is a Christian boy, that brother believe in a spook. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying get with a true Moorish American and understand the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Stop letting these people who never been in the temple. Ishmael Bey has never been in a Moorish Science temple as a card-carrying member. And I don't know about Ngozi, but obviously he haven't studied the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali when he says it's okay to be Black. Obviously, he don't understand what that means. We're not saying, man, listen, I got a picture on Facebook right now. I say with the Black Power old head. I think I was with Mr. Charles. I understand what he's talking about when he say Black Power. I understand that. I understand what the Panthers was talking about when they said Black Power. So we're not saying that Black in the sense of that paradigm of uprising, of reclaiming your power as it relates to independence and self-sufficiency. We're not saying that. We're saying that as being identified as a national descent, as a nationality, unacceptable. Unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and it is what it is. And you can try to say that you want to be Black all you want. It's okay. But let me tell you, it's unacceptable. Again, I would like y'all to go and look this up. Right there. I'm going to try to blow it up a little bit more. Let's see if we can blow it up a little bit more. I want y'all to go look this up. Look this up right here. And I want y'all to read about these Canaanites. These are the Africans who themselves, and you can cross-reference this. This is just to begin your journey, so nobody can tell you nothing. Who are you going to believe? The African who says he's from the land of Canaan? Or you going to believe somebody that they took this DNA strand, these hollow group strands, and trying to tell you who you are? When a prophet from God identifies who we were and who we are. Period, point blank. It's time to wake up, family. And they're going to come at me on Facebook. Do I care? Nope. Because guess what? Check it out. Wisdom is the consciousness.
Wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man gotta want. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. The truth don't change. Art is a part of me. The wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man gotta want. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. The truth don't change. Art is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness. Of being conscious that you're conscious, of being conscious that you're conscious, cause you can't go back to sleep or return to the state where the prophet found you. Woo! Wisdom is the consciousness of being conscious that you are unconscious, dripping in the cares of the world that almost drowned you. Woo! And now the rock of your salvation is gone. Step away from everything you used to do and everything you used to say and all the things you kept around you. If I can get you to think, I can get you to free yourself. You're Moorish American, free yourself. Our prophet noble to Ali, that's what he taught. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. God. Wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man gotta want. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Truth don't change, and law is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man gotta want. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. The law is a part of me. Cause wisdom is the consciousness.
It is the knowledge of the lower self. Sense in the powers of man. So, okay, now let's break down the wisdom. It is the consciousness that man is all. All the light and the ones that know it's not. And power is but illusion.
Let's go.
And heaven and earth and hell are not around, above, below, but within. Which in the light of wrath becomes not, and Allah is all mercy, all power, all wisdom, all knowledge, all truth. We got the proof. Surety that man will become deity. The ladder of salvation reaches from the heart of man to the heart of the Creator. Steps to make you greater. Believe, faith, fruition. That's the current mission. See it all through and become one with the truth.
Wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man gotta want. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. And law is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man ain't gotta want. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. And law is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness.